Diabetes and diet, the shocking truth. Welcome everyone. If high sugar levels or diabetes runs in your family, I recommend watching this video. I'll share 5 foods that when incorporated into your diet can help you regulate your blood sugar and potentially even reverse your diabetes, guys. The video is straightforward and practical. So, diabetes. Diabetes occurs when your blood sugar is high for an extended period of time. By consuming certain foods, your body can convert them into glucose, which can help lower your blood sugar. This video provides detailed information on this process. So welcome to Reverse Diabetes A1C, ladies and gentlemen, where we'll discuss diabetes and its solutions in depth. My name is Mr. A1C. Although I do have a medical background, this is not a medical channel. This channel shares my diabetic journey and how I was able to reverse my diabetes diagnosis using common sense with trial and error, so you don't have to make the same mistakes as me, and hopefully you'll be able to reverse your diabetes diagnosis as well. So let's get going, guys. What causes an increase in blood sugar levels? Our bodies generate energy from glucose, which requires glucose to enter the cell, meaning our body needs glucose to enter the cell. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, facilitates this process, acting as a key to open the cell door to allow glucose in, which if you watch my previous videos, you know we talk about this all the time. Once inside the cell uses the glucose for energy. So I just got to finish working out like I always tell you guys, and I just utilize my glucose for energy, and that's one of the reasons I work out. Not because I'm a workout freak or I like to work out. I do it to control my blood sugar. So while it's crucial to maintain glucose in the blood, the exact amount is equally important. Ideally, blood sugar should be around 100 milligrams per deciliter. If it rises to 200, the body typically can manage it, but if it reaches somewhere around 300, guys, it becomes very challenging for your body to cope with it. So at this stage, doctors often end up diagnosing us diabetics with diabetes as the diagnosis. The question then becomes, why can't the body handle the glucose? And we're going to talk about some things here in this video that I'm in the United States, and we'll talk about some common things, but there are some uncommon foods as well that, depending on where you are in the world, you will either know or not know. And if you don't know, you're going to have to research these foods, but it's very beneficial to you as a diabetic to research these foods because it will help you stabilize your blood sugar and hopefully reverse your type 2 or type 1 diabetes. So at this stage, doctors usually diagnose you with diabetes. The question then becomes, why can't the body handle the glucose? So the issue lies within the body's insulin sensitivity. So you've heard of insulin's resistance, and that's part of insulin sensitivity. Over time, cells become so full of glucose that they start ignoring the insulin's signal to accept more. This situation is similar to a train conductor, or akin to a train conductor who has too many passengers and can't accommodate anymore. So let me explain the process of how uncontrolled blood sugar levels can lead to diabetes, guys. When the body has too much glucose, the pancreas produces more insulin to help the body absorb it. However, if cells become overloaded with glucose or overfilled with glucose, they may ignore the insulin, leading to higher levels of glucose in the bloodstream. And that's not what we want as diabetics. That's what causes all of our problems. We want the glucose in the cells where we can use them for energy. And this can cause the blood to thicken a little, making it harder for it to flow through the body and reach the vital organs. If this is left untreated, this can cause damage to different organs and produce inflammation, which is why diabetes is often referred to as the mother of all diseases, and leads to what we call metabolic syndrome, which is high blood sugar, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. So the solution is to find a way to use the excess glucose in the cells and lower the overall blood sugar. And that's what I do. I'm using the excess glucose in the cells so I can rid the cells of that glucose and burn it off exercising, so the glucose in the bloodstream can repopulate the cells or fill the cells up again. So I can get it out of my bloodstream, of course. So let's discuss the relationship between diet and diabetes, guys. In my opinion, diabetes is not a disease, but rather a disorder caused by poor eating habits. And we tend to call this processed food disease because that's what really diabetes is. Because if you're able to reverse it by eating right and exercising and staying away from foods that are processed, such as foods in a bag, foods in a box, and you tend to eat natural type foods, you're able to reverse your diabetes. So it's more of a disorder caused by this horrible food that we're eating. By making better food choices, one can manage and potentially reverse their diabetes. I recommend incorporating 5 key foods into the diet, starting with salad. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, salad is not my favorite thing to do. I used to work for a big vegetable company, and I worked for the salad division. And I look at salad all day long. They're making all these different types of salads. So I'm not a big fan of salads, but I do eat salads because I know I have to do it as diabetic. So you should as well. So I also emphasize the importance of maintaining a balanced diet to regulate your blood glucose levels or your blood sugar levels in the blood, and to prevent the body from ignoring the insulin hormone, which when that occurs we call insulin resistance, which if you're diabetic, you're insulin resistant. Modern research supports the idea that diet can influence your genetic risk for diabetes. I also encourage understanding the impact of food choices, guys, on health and making long-term changes to dietary habits. So your number one food to control diabetes and blood sugar level, and this is not in any particular order, but I'm going to talk about 5 today, and number 1 is going to be this. If you have diabetes, it's beneficial to have a substantial lunch that includes a salad. Eating a salad before a meal can help you lower your spike in the blood sugar after eating. And this is due to 2 reasons, guys. First, raw vegetables generally have a low glycemic index, which means they release sugar slowly into the bloodstream. And that's what we want as diabetics, right? We do not want a sugar spike. We want it to gradually go up. And second, eating a salad can help curb hunger as well, preventing overeating later, which is particularly important for diabetes management. So if you notice, when you go out to eat, a lot of times they give you salad first. You have it before your main meal, and that helps. So that's going to help us curb our hunger and, eat in moderation. You can use vegetables like cucumbers, carrots, cabbage, and add some black pepper for flavor as well in your salad. If you're not, fond of raw salad, you can steam some vegetables or saute some vegetables. And what I will tell you is, if you're going to steam and saute vegetables, steaming is fine. If you're going to saute, you're normally going to use some kind of fat, right? Some kind of oil. So there are different recommendations. If you're going to use a fat, you're going to use a good fat, right? You're going to use olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Those are good fats for us diabetics. And before dinner, consider starting with a red onion salad. If you're in the United States, you probably are looking at me cross-eyed because that's not common, having an onion salad. But in some parts of the world, that is common. So I'm just introducing different ideas to you to see if it makes sense. So red onion salad is something you can consider as well. Onions, especially red ones, have compounds that can reduce blood sugar levels, guys. In a study of 84 diabetic patients who ate 100 grams of onion salad before a meal experienced a 40-point decrease in blood sugar within 4 hours. So that's very good, right? Normally we check our blood sugar 2 hours after we eat, which is called our postprandial blood sugar. But this occurred 4 hours later, which is a 40-point decrease, which I think is outstanding. So consider adding onion salad to your lunch and dinner routine to help manage your blood sugar levels. And don't forget to include foods with, things like you don't even consider, like barley in your diet, as it's beneficial for diabetes management. So the number 2 food to control diabetes and lower blood sugar, guys. So folks, instead of consuming wheat or rice, which can cause a rapid increase in blood sugar, and if you're diabetic, you're familiar with that, consider exploring alternatives like barley and oats. And if we're talking about oats, I'm going to say steel cut oats, because I don't think oats are 100% better than anything, to be honest with you. Steel cut oats are better because your body's going to digest it slower. And if you're going to get oats or oatmeal or eat something as a cereal, do not get the instant oats. Okay? But barley is a big deal. And I know we don't ever think about barley. We think about rye, we think about wheat and things like that. But barley is a big deal. Consider incorporating barley into your diet as well. These grains have a lower glycemic index, which can help manage blood sugar levels more effectively. A study even showed that blood sugar dropped by 65 points in those who consume barley. Oh, we just mentioned barley, right? Compared to 36 in those who ate oats. And so there's your example. If you're going to do oats, do steel cut. That way you're not going to get that 36 number. You're going to get a better number than that. But barley is also something to look at. And there's a lot of foods that you can, incorporate barley into. So this is because barley has the lowest glycemic index among cereals. So when we're talking about cereals, we're talking about cereal grains and things like that. We're not talking about breakfast cereal, although your breakfast cereal does have oatmeal and barley and wheat and things like that in it. But we're talking about cereal grains. While wheat and rice can increase blood sugar levels, grains like barley, oats, millet, which is an ancient grain, ragi, which is also called finger millet, and jowar, which is sorghum, are better options. So if you're used to eating wheat, consider switching to barley in some of the foods that you eat. Similarly, if you prefer rice, millet can be a good substitute for rice as well, as millet is high in fiber and have been found to reduce or reverse diabetes in some research. Soaking millet for 6 to 8 hours before cooking can further enhance its benefits. Try this for a month, share experience with me, and let me know. You might be surprised at the results you get, and I'm curious to see the results that you get, so definitely post it below in the comments. So what is the number 3 food on my list to control diabetes and lower your blood sugar? Well, people with diabetes often wonder if they should eat fruit at all. I know it's very controversial. While fruit does contain natural sugars, it also contains fiber and other nutrients that can help manage blood sugar levels. Now let me tell you something about fruit. I had my post-workout smoothie here, and I'm sure many of you also work out and you make a smoothie with fruit and things like that. So one of the things that you might want to know is this. We got to use common sense when we're dealing with our diabetes. And you put all this great stuff in your smoothie and then you put it in the blender and you blend it. Well, all the fruit and the fiber has all been blended, so the fiber is not going to do your body any good because it's all blended. So I blend for 5 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds, that's it. Because what happens if you're destroying the fiber, well, guess what? The fiber has no effect or minimal effect on the blood sugar. So you need the fiber intact. And that's the whole reason, eating a whole fruit versus drinking fruit juice will be better, right? So that's the analogy I'm going to give you, because the whole fruit has the intact fiber, whereas fruit juice doesn't have the fiber, just has the juice. So it's going to raise your blood sugar. So keep that in mind as we talk about fruits. It's best to eat seasonal fruits and limit portion sizes for fruits that are higher in sugar, such as bananas, mangoes, grapes, and dates. And if you've watched some of my videos, you can eat bananas, mangoes, grapes, and dates. You just have to know how to do it. And I've gone over some of the techniques that I utilize to help me control or stabilize my blood sugar with these particular fruits as well. And you can refer to those videos if you wish. So instead, opt for fruits like black plum, which is also called jamun or jamun, apples, oranges, pineapples, peaches, berries, and other low sugar fruits. Berries are big, by the way. These fruits are high in fiber and can help regulate blood sugar levels. It's also important to note that while fruit can be part of a healthy diet, it's best to avoid fruit juices, like we just discussed, that have added sugars, and many of them will cause a blood sugar spike because they no longer have the fiber as the original fruit did when whole, as we just previously discussed. Instead, try to eat fruits as a whole, meaning the fruit itself, and pair them with a source of healthy fat. So mix fruits with a source of healthy fats. That's something else I talk about in all of my videos, healthy fats, because I figured out the recipe for success for diabetes for me. And I want to suggest that to you or help you with that. And you can let me know in the comments if it's working or not. So healthy fats such as nuts or avocados to help slow down the absorption of sugar. I have a whole video on avocados you guys need to watch. I don't think I've done a video on nuts yet, but I will, because I eat a lot of nuts. Also, remember that eating fiber-rich foods can help lower blood sugar levels, so try to include fruits in your breakfast or as a snack if you get hungry later on in the day. So number 4 on my list of foods to control diabetes and blood sugar levels, or to lower your blood sugar levels. When you consume carbohydrates, there's a high spike in sugar release, followed by protein and then fats, which have the lowest and most steady release. If your blood sugar is high, you should reduce your carbohydrate intake and increase healthy fats. Now, there's a caveat there, right? If it's saying if your blood sugar is high, you should reduce your carbohydrate intake. I think it depends on the type of carbohydrates that there are good carbohydrates and there are bad carbohydrates. I would tell you, if you're eating complex carbohydrates, you're not going to have the sugar spike as you're going to have with a simpler carbohydrate. Okay, so keep that in mind. And if you're not sure what the difference between a complex and a simple carbohydrate is, I've got a video I've done on that as well. Take a look at my video list and see if there's something there that will help you understand what's going on in terms of carbohydrates, because there is. So these healthy fats, as per Ayurvedic medicine, which is medicine from India, natural medicine, which I prefer to look at first before I take medication, of course, can be included by adding a spoonful of ghee. And if you're from the United States, you may or may not know what ghee is, but it's clarified butter. But if you're from anywhere else in the world, you might know what it is. Add that to your vegetables. And remember, the things you need to understand is this. When you're dealing with fats, this is a good fat. Good fats are great for us diabetics to help control our blood sugar. However, fats are very high in calories. So pay attention to your moderation, or how much you're putting into your foods, because you're going to have to moderate, because you don't want to go over on your calories, because what's going to happen is you're going to start putting on fat. No pun intended. But you're going to start putting on weight that you don't want. So pay attention to your calories as well. I'll have to do a video talking about calories and how it helps me as a diabetic, and I'll clarify that information when I do that video. So nuts like almonds, cashews, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and chia seeds are also excellent sources of healthy fats. I eat a lot of these. And also there's pistachios. I eat a lot of pistachio nuts as well. So instead of refined oils, consider using cold pressed oils like mustard, linseed, sesame. I cook with sesame when I make stir fry. So coconut oil, avocado oil, or peanut oil. Also, whole legumes like chickpeas or beans can be beneficial for diabetes management. Remember, the key is to maintain a balanced diet and consult with a healthcare professional or a dietitian for personal advice or personalized advice. So number 5 on this list, guys. Number 5, foods to control diabetes and lower blood sugar. The 5th is eating certain foods can help manage diabetes and reduce blood sugar levels, which Whole legumes, for instance, have more fiber and protein than split or washed legumes. This can help regulate blood sugar levels. And I apologize for the burping there. I mean, I just had my smoothie after I worked out, and sometimes it does make me burp. So this can help regulate blood sugar levels. Try to include mung beans, and many of you may not be familiar with it, but check out some mung beans. There's also something called black gram beans, which are black beans, and other whole legumes in your diet. So for snacks, consider roasted chickpeas. You can buy roasted chickpeas at a health food store, or they sell it commercially as well. Try to get that. Just look at the ingredients and make sure you have natural ingredients on the back. The first and the second ingredients are the most important ingredients. Take a look at that. Don't read the marketing on the front. Because something says it's healthy doesn't mean it's healthy. In the morning, consider eating fruits or oats. And of course, if you're going to do oats, you're going to do steel cut oats. Remember, steel cut oats for breakfast. Before meals, have a salad and a source of healthy fats like nuts or seeds. For dinner, opt for a barley type bread or millet with black beans or green vegetables. Remember to eat a salad with onions before your meal if that's your thing. I know some people can't stand onions. I love onions, and I love the sweet onions. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making any significant changes to your diet or treatment plan. And if you haven't, guys, please subscribe to this channel, because I've got a ton of information for my fellow diabetics. Like the video so other diabetics can also see the video, because if you like it, the YouTube algorithm pushes it out to other diabetics like ourselves that need to help. They're seeing all this information that they don't really know how to make a decision. So we're just streamlining the information and putting it out there for you guys, so you guys can make better decisions and you're better informed. Also, let's see, the community section. We have a community section. Try to participate in the community, because I would like to build a community of like-minded diabetics so we can help each other. I'm not just here to help you, but I will also take advice from you as well. If you've done some things that I haven't done, I'm going to follow that advice as well. It's a community. So no one knows everything, but you put a bunch of brains together and we can figure things out. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got some value out of the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.